Okay. During the last time, we kind of got done with the first page of the country's REST countries project. So let me just go live. So look again at what we have. Okay, it's showing like this because I'm zoomed. Wow, a whole 500. All right, this. Okay, like this. Okay, so yeah, this is what we have been able to do so far, and it's very nice. You can even filter by continents, Africa, Europe, and if you are tired, you can go back to all. Okay, all, there seems to be something up with all. Filter countries. Hello, are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, let me just take a look at the console. Because when running this, there should be something in the console. Line 43, filtered countries. Let me add something. Let's have a look each time what our filtered countries look like.
Johnny さん、無限の可能性の世界へようこそ。探求し、学び、創造しましょう。想像力の魔法を発見しましょう。宇宙はあなたのものです。挑戦に立ち向かい、勝利を。
Why would the universe be your own? Hey, close that thing. Why are you getting that thing to lie to you like this? Okay, yeah. So when I tried the filter, it seemed to work until I went back to all, and then we saw nothing. So let's try to understand why that's happening. You can see for Africa, we got something, right? 53, 58 countries. So there are 58 in Africa. Okay. But over here, running filtered, checking filtered countries here, we're getting nothing. So we tried to do this. Filtered countries is equal to all countries. Okay, so let's add a console log then. All countries. Okay, so if we go North America again, we get all countries and filtered countries. So back to all countries is still the same, but filtered countries is empty. I wonder why. Okay, so our if statement here says that if option is not equal to all ALL, then this should happen, else this should happen. So if I had a guess right now, I would say that the option, when we click all, when we click that all option, and somehow it still goes this way. It doesn't come here. So if I were to check that over here, yes. See, this is capital A, double L.
Yeah.
While this thing was, so given that the others are starting with capitals, I'll just go change this one to capital. It's always the simplest of things I get people down. Okay, so if we go somewhere else, South America, and come back to all, you get everything. All right, that's fine. So, we also worked on this dark mode and light mode that day. So the things left here are just search, but let's leave search for now and focus on, a single country. So if you click on any country, it will take the, let's call it short code. According to the data we get from the API, that property is actually called CCA3, but I don't know what CCA3 is. So I'll just call it short code. So it will take the short code for that country. For Algeria, it should be, is it ALG? Something like that, Sha. It will take it and add it to the query parameter in the address. It will first navigate to country.html and then add a query parameter. I think it's called country, and give it the value of that shortcode. So Algeria, DZA, they'll never get that. Angola is AGO. Yeah, just something like that. So the plan here is that, when we get into this page should check, okay, I temporarily changed it to states, just to prove the point that it doesn't have to be country. No matter what variable you pass, it's just good like that. So now the plan here is to take, use JavaScript to access this address and get the query, get this code out of the query, and use it to make a request, another API request, because the REST countries API has an endpoint for getting a single country with the code. Let's find that endpoint. Yeah, search by CCA3. This is actually the one we're using. So it's just something like this: restcountries.com v3.1 alpha, and then the code, and it will return details for just that country. Okay, so let's go through the beginning steps. Maybe we should go through this HTML first. We can ignore the header since it's the same thing as what was in the index.html, and we've done that already. We even got it into a separate JS file called theme.js. The main thing in the header is just that theme switching, light mode, dark mode, and that's done here. So we can ignore that here. We just have to make sure that in country.html, theme.js is imported. So that's it. That's taken care of. So in section, okay, in this one, the only thing to worry about here is this button, the back button. But, okay, this one I put it in here and I didn't remove it. Have you heard of history?
No, I've not.
Okay, history is a method that accesses the browser history. So, yeah, history.back just means go back one time. Anyhow, let's just do a little browsing and look on.
Button on some mouse. Is that what it does? Like some mouse have
Like this one?
Forward and backward button.
Oh, I don't necessarily know what's there. There are different ways to do things in JavaScript. History.back is just wrong. Maybe they have another way they're doing, but it's most likely history.back. Or some kind of history manipulation. Let's just look at the history set of methods. Okay, this is clear, right? Big enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so the JavaScript history object contains the browser's history. First of all, the window part. What's your problem? This is why I always reject all these things, because it starts telling you annoying things. Something that will just log me in and not ask me questions. First of all, the window part can be removed from window.history just by using. Okay, it's just like prompts, or what's the other one? Alert. Actually, the real thing is window.alert, window.prompt, but since the window is basically the global object, so if you run any method just like that, it's like running it from the global object, which is window. So both ways work fine. Whether you say window dot or you just say that thing, it's all the same thing. All right, the JS history object contains an array of URLs visited by the user. By using the history object, you can load previous, forward, or any particular page using various methods. One of the methods is length. That should be straightforward. Returns the length of the history URL visited by the user in that session. Then there's forward. Go forward. Back, just as you expect. Go. Okay, so it's giving a page number in the browser. Okay. So history.go, you put forward, or like you put numbers, positive numbers or negative numbers to move forward in the history or backward in the history. So let me look. I think forward and back, history.forward and history.back, they don't really take any parameters. Maybe I should have gone to MDN. But history.go, you can see by forward will not work if the next 4 pages do not exist in the history list. So if all you have are previous things in your history and you do history.go 4 steps forward, it's not really give you anything.
Future.
Yeah, it doesn't know. It's not AI. It's not this thing. What's that? GitHub Copilot or Tab9 that will be doing miracles. All right. So anyhow, that's just this. So you can. I don't know if you noticed the back button when I looked over here. Yeah, this is that back button. So all that is there is just history.back. It was something small, so maybe I should stop this. I shouldn't do it in the HTML. Let me just do it from the JavaScript. So this is back. I don't think there's anything else called back. So I'll call it back button. Back DTN. Document.query selector back. Okay. And what was that? Back BTN, that's, yeah, can you help me with the event listener? Yeah? Yeah? Can you help me with the event listener?
Abi.
What? I didn't hear you.
It's add event listener now, Abi.
Yes. I don't click event listener.
Add, then click, then the function to trigger. Like add event
Okay.
listener,
All right.
then pass and click in quotation, in quotes.
All right.
Then
So what's
history dot back.
So I just write history dot back.
You can function like declare function open empty parentheses, then open the normal curly braces, then history dot back. Abi?
Yeah.
History dot back. Oh yeah.
Yeah, history dot back. That does it.
Instead of writing the whole function thing, can we just like refer Abi? Can we just like add history dot back without the parentheses there?
Let's try that and see. Illegal invocation. So we get a type error if you try that.
Instead of writing the whole function thing, we can use like is it anonymous arrow function?
Yeah. Since that would take up less characters.
Yeah.
Okay. So trying this out, yeah, we get it. Okay, so inspecting the HTML, or that continuing to inspect the HTML, we have main, and in this main there's a container, blah blah blah, a loading screen just like before, and then this div with the ID country. So we're going to do some loading screen manipulations just like before. We assume the CSS is already, up to par. So all we have to do is to get this loading screen as a variable and then tamper with this class hide, remove or add it back. All right, and we also need this ID, this div country, because that's where we're going to be putting our details. So those are just the two things we need, loading screen and country. Why not still use query selector once more? Loading screen and so that one was country. Okay, so just to be sure, yeah, the ID is loading screen and this is country. So that's fine. We've gotten the three variables we're going to be working with. We've settled back BTN already. But before we start talking about loading screen and country, let's try to access the address in that page and get that shortcode. So do you remember how we talked about that address thing? Do you remember how we said we can access the address in the page?
Window dot something.
Okay, window dot something. Okay, that's nice. It's window dot location.
Yeah.
So let me console log window dot location. So when we look in there, you will see what we need, or you look at the things in that object, that window.location object, and decide which one we should go for. So we have this, there's hash, there's host name, href, origin, path name, port, protocol, some functions, reload, replace, there's search, there's toString. So which of these do you think we should go for? Since we're trying to get, that AND, state is equal to AND, we just want to search. All right, that's nice. So search, just give, if there's a question mark, there's a query, in that address.
Yeah.
Search will return what is after that question mark. So if we did window.location.search, we would have this question mark state is equal to, let me change this thing back to country.
Yeah.
It's troublesome. State doesn't give the right meaning. Okay. All right, window.location.search. Now, what we saw here was, question mark, something is equal to something. So if we were to try to get that something, any ideas how we can go about it?
It will return string, right?
Yeah, it's a return string. So this is what we had. Let me just put it down here. Let's put the right thing. Country is equal to AND, for example. Yeah. How do you work on something like this? Maybe let me even put this as something. If I run Quokka here with it.
To get the AND, you can split. You can split with equal to and then get the.
Okay. I normally like to open a rough work. So this Coders then repo is my favorite rough work. Anything I'm troubled with, since most of my work is in places where I can't run Quokka because there are imports and exports and those kind of weird things. So I normally come to here and start doing my experiments. So let's say cons, or rather, let str be equal to that stuff. All right, so what magic are we running on this?
str.split.
str.split. This. Yeah, what goes into the split? Yeah?
Split by is equal to, equal to string.
Okay, split by equal to.
Then get the element at index 1.
Okay. Index 1. And that gives us AND. Okay, so this works fine. It works fine because we're in a situation where there is just one query. But either way, it doesn't matter. The point is it works. If we had a situation where there were going to be more plenty of queries, we would probably attack it in a different way. The point is that no matter what, there is only one query, and splitting with equal to the second thing in our results is always that shortcode. So that's fine. So that means we can just take this dot split and...
Do you have another approach, a better approach to solve it.
Okay, sometimes there are more queries. So generally, if there are more queries, this is how they will be. And maybe states is equal to flag, something like that. So usually, you'd split by the question mark first to remove it. So you'd have this. Okay, so you'd have this, yeah. Then pick the first one and split that one by
ant.
Yeah, by ant. Dot split. But that will not work in this situation here. Then pick the right one you want, the index of the one you want, and split by equal to. But the one you said for that, what you said before was just perfect for our situation. So there's no need to worry about this number. Last, whatever situation you find yourself in, you can just console log window.location.search and decide how you want to move forward from there.
Yeah.
Okay, window.location.search.split this. So all things being equal, we should get A and D. And that's fine. So we can now take this and assign it to a variable and call that variable maybe code. It's better to be clearer. Country code. All right. So what do we do with this country code? We can create a function for getting country details. So maybe get country details, right?
Yeah.
So let me see. I think it can be necessary to put an if statement, right? If not country code. Yeah, or if there's no country code, what do we want to do?
There's no, probably display a blank screen.
Probably display a blank screen. Or maybe throw an alert and say
if there is no country code. Like
technically we shouldn't, but we shouldn't. There is no country that would, clicking on any country. But if somebody does manipulate the address to /country.html without adding a country code, then the page will just be looking as we see it. Nothing is happening. So maybe if there's no country code, it should throw an alert, and then
there can be country code, and the country code will be invalid.
And that one, it will be from the API request that you will find that out.
Yeah.
So let me say alerts country code not found, returning to home screen.
Then we trigger history.back.
Exactly. But actually, doing history.back could be troublesome because the person history.back just goes to the previous page. But what if the previous page is not the home screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way to directly navigate to somewhere is just to change what is in window.location, I think.
Okay, the path.
Let me just be sure. So navigating programmatically in JavaScript. Okay, yeah, .href. Window.location.href is equal to whatever. Yeah, if you remember, when we did that window.location and looked at the objects, there were a few properties in there, and href had the full path, the full stuff that is showing in the browser. So that's it. Yeah, so you can. It's also showing here. Can be set to navigate to the given URL. So window.location.href is equal to, I guess, a slash, because that's the home. So let's test it out. Oh, this should be called get country details. Even if I just do this. Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that works.
So the slash initializes it to like the home page.
Yes, slash is always home page everywhere.
Makes sense.
All right. So else. If we do have a country code, then we want to start up an API fetch.
Yeah.
Or get requests. So let's make this an async function, because I don't want to use .then.
But you can declare another async function inside it.
It's best to just do one. Why? Instead function is not so necessary here.
Yeah.
Let me copy that link. All right, so you remember how it goes for making GET requests? They are the simplest of things.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
First, we fetch. Yeah.
Okay, so fetch with this. So I'm going to use the URL. Yeah. So I'm going to use templates so that I can change this country code. Okay, so but this is in a variable. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What variable?
The fetch. Maybe res. Yeah, res.
All right. Res. Okay, res is equal to fetch this.
It's equal to await fetch since it's
await fetch.
Then const data is equal to res.json. Await res.json to convert our response to a JavaScript object.
Yeah. All right, that's lovely.
You can
So,
also log our data.
yeah, so get requests are just that easy. So there we have
I've
it.
started using the Axios library recently. Sha.
Okay, with React or just normal JavaScript?
No, React.
Okay, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Access gives a lot of functionality.
Yeah.
It's even easy to stop a request there,
Mm.
which is
But like
something we
all I'm
don't.
using it for now is just to fetch.
That's always how it goes. Even when making requests normally, you just start with get until one day you jam form, and then you do post, and maybe patch and put and the rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the bunch of information we need, but or rather, the bunch of information we have. But now, what exactly do we need? Mm, let me see if I can remember that link. How do those GitHub links go again?
The ones hosted on GitHub pages, I mean.
Yeah, so
IO. Then slash the name of the repo. Yeah, I think so.
github.io/countries.
Wow. Hope it's not for.
Okay, ours was sorted.
Yeah.
So it always starts with Afghanistan. It was boring to me. So, all right. So anyhow, looking at why? Because it's more fun now. I mean, load it every time you see Afghanistan, or those countries, Anguilla. It's boring. Now you see France, tomorrow you see Belgium, tomorrow Nigeria. I mean,
How did you do to handle functionality?
you can think about that. If you have a solution, we'll try it.
Okay.
France. All right. So we have bag. We need native name, level domain, currency.
Your voice is breaking now.
All right. That's horrible. How about now?
Yeah. It's better now. It's okay. You know.
See, this is troublesome. A native name. We're not sure what the first thing is. Like this WE for Sweden, right? But if we go back, this Afghanistan.
what's happening. Okay.
So native name, we now have a bunch of things like PRS, PUS, TUK.
Voila.
Yes, Wahala. Because we're used to specific things, like you just say name.common, you go your way. But this time implementation is straightforward. Can anyone still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, now. And the screen is still visible?
Yeah, it's on France.
Okay. I was asking, do you know what top level TLD is, or top level domain?
Top level domain. Is it like the dot like dot?
Yeah, it's the let's say official domain for that country.
Yeah.
Yeah, like .fr, .uk, .us, .ng. That kind of thing. An object, and there could be different properties inside. This one is AFN. We don't know what the next one is. That kind of thing.
And it's not even the same with the country code.
Yeah, so you can't really use that. Okay, and then there's border countries. So probably borders. Yeah, borders. And now look at this. Borders. We just have codes.
Why not just it's not left to you to figure out what the full name of the country is?
Yeah, well, ideally you probably make another request for each of them to get their details, and then you just get their name, swap it. Okay, so let's start focusing on them. Or rather, before we even go any further, this borders already poses a challenge. Which is better? There are two options here. We could choose to the CCA3 that matches the country code we have from the address, and get that one out. And then since we have the entire array, we can as well look for these border countries ourselves in-house, which will be faster than making a fetch request. Or we do as we have done, make a request for just this country, jam these border countries, and make separate requests for them.
The efficient one.
The efficient one. Which one is the efficient one?
The one that won't require us having to fetch every time.
Having to fetch everything. So making one fetch.
Yeah.
All right. So let's adjust that first before we do this anymore. We'll be doing the normal one, which was just /all, and you stop there. Okay, we already have an idea of what data should be. So let's put the field. right, let me know when the screen starts showing again.
Yeah, it's showing now.
Okay. All right, find. So how do we use find?
Could you please go over the reason why we are using find again?
Okay, filter would return an array. Find will return the item directly. So say we had this. Yeah, like this, for example. This is an array of two arrays, like an array with two sub-arrays. So yeah, I didn't console log pick. Let me console log pick. Okay, so pick used find, right? And it directly gave us the item, which is the sub-array. So if we use filter, it gives us an array with whatever results inside. So to get maybe the first thing, you'll still have to do this. Yeah, so it's just a little thing, but since we're looking for just one thing, you can see that find is better because find directly returns that thing. But filter, you'd have to go through this small step to get that thing inside. Okay, and if we search for something that doesn't exist, what doesn't exist here? 4 doesn't exist. So let me change this. With filter, you get an empty array. With find,
you get nothing.
You get undefined. All is well, sure. But either way, we're pretty sure we're going to find everything we're looking for. So we'll still go with find.
Yeah.
So cannot pick one.name. Okay, I used find at first. I used find. That's fine. All right, so how do you use find?
You can say element is equal to...
So you're one of those element people.
I use EL most of the time.
Okay. So let's go with that EL.
So what does our data look like?
I hope it hasn't gone away. Yeah, so we're looking for this CCA3.
Okay.
EL.CCA3.
Then we can do square bracket 0 then dot CCA3. EL dot square bracket 0.
Is there any for square bracket 0?
Oh. EL dot CCA3 then.
Yeah.
Double equals our country code.
All right, that is that. So let's console log country. All right, so directly we get this AFG. Yeah, that's our country.
That's your country. Issues.
Don't worry. Okay, so over here, This is the, I'm kind of lazy, so this is the template I used before. So let's
Okay.
just come over here and pick the names as they are used, the property names as they're used, from the object directly. So there was flag, common name, and something, something, something. So essentially, before we console log this country, let's streamline country. So country is equal to, let me just make this,
Why not create another object from country, Abi?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine too. We'll call this country data. So there was name. What else? There's flag. Oh, okay. Things were used directly. And that's still, I don't think we'll go with that. We'll just give our own names. So there's flag, there's name, native name.
Native name, population.
Okay.
Sub-region.
The names. Native name, population, region, sub-region, capital.
So we have two names.
Yeah, because the name showed at first. Where is this? You see, there's France, like in bold. Then there's native name. Yeah. So it's not just name, actually. It's native name and common name.
Population.
But what else? TLD.
Official domain. Domain.
Region, sub-region.
Border countries.
Yeah, it's just called them border. Okay. Border countries. Currencies, languages.
The official domain as well.
And that's the TLD.
Oh. Top level. Oh.
Top level domain. Currencies, languages. I think these are the last two things. Capital. Okay, so let's roll with the easy ones first. Common name. So that one is straightforward, I think. It's just name.common. Name.common, population, region, sub-region, all these ones are straightforward. Capital as well. Country.population, I think this is country.tld. We'll check when we get there.
CJ is raising up. He's raising on. You can just
okay. Yeah, CJ, what's
up? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm wondering, instead of us referring to another object, can we sync the objects from the previous object? Because I see country.name.common. Isn't there a way to connect, in the previous object, we give another name and then, so instead of us having to create another object?
give another
I'm
name.
seeing we had a previous object.
Yes.
So if we instead of
Like
doing that in a
the
new object, we just in the same
approach you
previous
wanted to
object,
follow
we
before.
just add different names to refer to.
Okay, I think that was what I wanted to do before. So instead of having country data, it will still be country, and we'll just streamline things inside.
Okay.
But this is just finer. This is just, I know we're creating one extra variable, sure, but it will get easier this way because now it's this one that we're going to pass to our function, and we'll not have to be doing all of this later on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So country dot capital. Yeah, there was a little trouble with this capital last time. Can you remember that?
Okay,
it's an array, but how did we do it later on? Capital, there was nothing. It was so weird. I still haven't found a reason for that. So now that we've learned our lesson, we'll just carry on like this.
You can still put square bracket 0 now.
So that I look like someone that doesn't learn. Flag. I think I like SVG things. So flags.svg. Okay, so we're left with currencies, languages, borders, native name. Let me see that currencies. Was it troublesome? Yeah, currencies was a little troublesome. Okay, what about languages?
Same thing.
Languages is also troublesome. So, there we have it. You have this. How do you get, the things inside it neatly?
You run a for loop, Abby.
You run a for loop.
Or we just do object dot. Is it object dot value?
Oh, this had to come out. It's troublesome. Languages.
This is just you being lazy.
That's the thing, though. Sometimes you want to be lazy, but you still be doing hard work on top of your laziness. That's the kind of thing I don't like. All right, so there we have it. We have languages like this. So, what is the fastest way to simply just get those three things out of languages? Yes, what was your suggestion?
Object dot values.
Object dot values languages. All right, that sounds fun. It does give us what we want. I say it does give us what we want.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find another country that may have plenty of languages. Let me see how it will be. What country has plenty of languages?
Nigeria.
I know that's the first thing you say. Okay, all right. So see how a country with plenty of languages shows up.
Switzerland.
Yeah, so it's they come with a comma. But this one comes like this.
We can do those join then comma.
The join and comma and this.
Then space.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So this does get us what we need. So let's go back. Languages, right? Object.values, country.lang, languages. Okay, so that one is done. Now, currencies. Oh, before we go to currencies, let's look at native name. Native name.
Scroll to name. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So the thing now is this common one that we want? Like inside whichever one. So let's just take it that inside native name, there would always be at least one property. So inside native name, we just pick the first property, and inside that one we pick common.
But this name is not naming.
And that's how we go right now. We force it to be English. They are not English now.
Yeah.
We'll just drop it like that. It's their native name. Okay, so let's try to simulate that here. So in each of these,
why not just copy from Chrome?
From Chrome. I don't want to do that thing again. Hey, this one wants to spoil me. Okay, let me put a comma here so that it will be equal. Don't worry, it will go fast. Now that I have these templates, it will go fast. Okay, so we put this in this, and then we say common. Yeah, so let's ignore the other stuff. This one can come down. This one can come down. Hey, what's up? Oh, they're laughing at me. Wait.
Then everything is not equal length.
Don't worry, there are ways about it. We don't do them.
Nice.
Yeah. So inside languages, we have different things, and all of them have the common property. So how do you access that common property now? All right, so if you just go, okay.
Object.entries, languages, then we access the first value.
Entries.
Then we do square bracket 0.
Okay.
Then we access language. Okay, we access the first value as well.
So another square bracket 0.
Yeah.
What we want is the common name. So we want Darin.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be square bracket 1 or 2?
What I'm thinking is once we get the PRS, then we now do languages, then square brackets.
That's long now. You have it right in your front.
Okay.
So we just go one.
Square brackets, then that's common.
Yeah, that's common. So Darin. So it's long, but that's it. That's our native name. Was that Joyce's voice I heard?
Yeah, I joined late. I feel like I've missed a lot.
Yes, you have missed a whole lot. like
Would you
dot
like
slot.
that? Would you like that?
Country dot languages. Okay. So currencies next. Currencies. So this time around, I think it's the name that we need. So it's a similar situation. In currencies, we may have, no, this one is different, right? This is different because for native name, we just needed one. But for currencies,
We need
actually,
everything.
yeah, we need everything. All right, let me look over here.
How does the currencies display? Is it this?
It just displays the name.
No symbol.
No, no symbol, just the name. So if there are multiple countries, there will be different properties here, and we just want to get their names into an array. And then join the array with the comma and the space. So let's test that here. It's a similar situation to this one. So instead of getting just Dari, we want to see Dari, comma, Pashto, comma, Turkmen. Hey.
Run maybe for in loop.
For in, let's do it on one line now. It's almost the same thing anyway. So first step is object.entries. We have that.
Map.
Map. So lovely. Why did you choose map?
Because it will return an array.
Yeah, exactly. To return an array with the same length as the original array, which is just what we need. So, Papa, what goes next?
Then,
ELAB.
Yeah. Object.entries, then language returns just an array with one length.
No, it returns all the things. This is what it returns. An array of arrays. So map is correct.
Oh, okay. So you have to pick a call.
Okay. So can someone else carry on?
I would love to carry on, but as it is now, I am lost.
You are lost. But you know object.entries.
Yes, I do. It will get the keys and the values.
Exactly. So this is what we have this is the array we're looking at, languages. We're just using it to simulate currencies, the way currencies looks in the API response. Okay. For currencies, we would have different keys, and in them they would have a property called name. Yeah, so we want all the currencies. But then, with objects, you can't really tell what to be inside. Yeah, this one might have Swiss franc, this one might have NGN, you never can tell. Right, so we just want to dynamically get whatever is there, all the names in a list. This one, comma, this one, this comma, this one. So now, using this as an example, if we do object.entries with languages, we get this. But we want to access this Dari, the value of common in each of them. So what do you think we can do next?
Okay, yeah, I'm back.
If we want to access the value of common, so you have an array of an array.
Yes, you just go past.
This is all we want. Dari, Pashto, Turkmen.
Okay. Then that would be square brackets.
Square brackets. Currently, with object.entries languages, we have this array of arrays. So if we have an array of arrays and we want to, reduce each array to just something inside the array, what do you think the best way to do that is?
I think it's maybe destructure it. Am I saying correct?
The structuring for arrays In fact, for anything works when you know what will be inside. Especially for arrays, you need to know how many things there will be. For example, if there were only 2 things and you destructured and put 3 variables, the last one will be undefined. So in this situation, you don't know how many variables there will be, like how many properties there will be. So destructuring is not the way to go.
Let's continue our map.
I would like her to continue. Okay. The way to go forward is map. Can you try to use map to access these things? Maybe I should copy this and keep one side.
Thank you for allowing me to try your John just for you to take over.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is what we have. So dot map.
Yeah.
Alright, so what do I put in the map?
Item.
Oh, you're an item person. I think Ebuka would like you.
So that would be item.
I've forgotten which of them is which there. One of them is EL, one is item. Ebuka and Raja.
Item.
Alright, so item what?
Item. Let's explore now. Let's go bracket.
Dot what?
No, I was thinking of someone, but it looks like I'm having an array there.
Let's see. Dot common. So this is what we have. But this is what we want. So how do we make this down to this?
Join.
Where do I put the dot?
The dot is going to be after the yes.
Okay. Dot join. Okay. Doesn't look very accurate yet.
Add codes and put comma then space now.
There's a space. So what do we do?
Okay, add the
Codes added. What else? Command space. All right, so that's fine. So we have gotten our answer for currencies.
Johnny, why didn't you just allow me finish?
I'm so sorry, ma.
Currencies. So we need to change a few things because this is not called common. Instead, it's called name. And this is not languages, but country.currencies.
Let's add the logo too now. I mean the
logo.
Symbol.
The symbol. The issue is that we'll have to go and adjust the HTML. The HTML templates that we're creating. And I don't want to start struggling with HTML right now. Yeah, so we're left with the last problem, border countries. So, so far we've been doing everything we needed on one line, but disregarding the whole one line thing, how would you try and get the border countries? You see, what we need for border countries, if you look down here, this is what we need from them. We need their short code. Because if you notice, if you click on this, currently you can see country. The code here is CHE, which is for Switzerland. And if you click on Austria, it's going to change to AUT and a different country will load. Right, so this is actually a button. It's not just a nice display like this, it's a button. And the button has that stuff. Or maybe it's a link, rather, it's a link.
Okay.
A link.
Yeah.
It also has this stuff. Country is equal to this. Yeah. So which means we need this short code. So for each of them, we need their name, their common name, and we need their short code. You can see the templates for those buttons. There's this borders shorts, and there's, well, the first thing in borders. We'll do it better. We'll make it an object so that there will not be array one and all those weird things. But yeah, that's that. So we need their name and their short code. So how would you go about that? If you were to, for example, just anyhow you want to do it. Currently, if we check country.borders, let's just do country.borders for now. I think it's borders. Borders, yes, it's borders. Country.borders is will give you an array of the short codes for each border country. So now we need to look through this data we have that contains everything and find those countries with those short codes and turn that array of short codes we have to an array of objects with short codes and common name for those countries. Something like that. So for now, let me save this. Okay, console log country.
Why do you like adding the pre-string?
It's helpful now. Don't you don't see the helpfulness?
Since we're only console logging.
Yeah. Well, true. But it's helpful, you look at this one and see that this is country, the other one is country data.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go see what country data looks like. So border countries, we have this array of 6 things. Capital, yeah, this one is being weird as usual. Common name, Afghanistan. Currencies, Afghan, Afghani.
Wow.
Yeah. Flag, we have this. Languages, we've got this. Native name is undefined. That's interesting.
Why?
Okay, population, we didn't do that dot to local string.
Local string.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go at that. Region, Asia, sub-region, Southern Asia. TLD is this. Okay. Let's hope this TLD would be as nice as capital and behave itself. All these weird things. Okay, population dot to local string.
Why is it not auto-suggesting?
It probably doesn't know that population is a string.
Okay.
Probably the type is any. That's its country is any. So it can't tell for sure that population is a number, rather. It's a number. Yeah, so native name returned undefined. Okay, let me try something. Let's see what country.languages is first of all. Okay, it's an array. Native name is an array. It's not an object. Oh, wait. Okay.
Okay,
Object.entries.
object.entries converted it.
Yeah, object. That was just confusing. Okay, so object entries gives us this. But we want Dari. Which country is this? Afghanistan. Their native name is Dari. That's just unexpected.
I don't think so.
So where the hell is that thing coming from?
I think it's languages we did.
Oh,
Go back to the code.
wow.
Yeah.
Country.languages, that's just crazy. Country.name,
.native name.
.native name. Is it .native name or .native?
.native.
Name .native name.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Native name, exactly. All right, population is also looking nice, nicely formatted. So we're left with border countries. So suggestions, what do we do for these border countries?
Run a for each loop. But we still need to get we still need to keep the like the country code.
Yes, we'll still need it. Okay, tell you what. How about we create a function?
Okay.
In here. Right?
I am
We create it outside.
something that I don't understand.
What don't you understand?
There's one place that has windows.location.href because
that's why you should be coming early, so that you will not. Okay, we looked at this. Actually, we touched it a bit in the last class. Window.location is an object that contains details about the address of any page. So one of the properties inside that object is search, which in some addresses there may be something like this at the end of the address.
Yeah.
Right? Something.com, question mark, blah blah blah. So these are queries. There is a way to pass data into a page, with the address. So with location.search, window.location.search, this is what you will get. If there is something if there's a question mark in that address, it will return the question mark and everything after the question mark. So generally those data passed in through queries, they come in this form. Key is equal to object. Key is equal to value. And if there are multiple, they are separated with and. They're always separated with and. So generally they just look like this. So what we did was just window.location.search to get something like this. And in our situation, we know that we're only getting one query, just country. So there wasn't the need to start splitting with plenty things. So we just split it equal to and collected the second thing in the array, which is AND, or whatever code is being passed. Yeah, so that was just to get country code.
Okay.
All right, so let's make things interesting. Function get border countries. Or should we say format border countries?
Guess border country name. That'd be too long.
Format border countries. I think this is fine. So it's going to take in two things. One is data,
Like
which is the
everything.
the entire thing. And then the other is the array, the borders array. So what do we do in this situation?
What do we want to return? Like, what do we want from our?
This is what we want. We want an object looking like this. Name is
the real
Nigeria. Code is NGA.
Okay. Everything inside an array, abi?
Yeah, inside an array. As it gave us an array, we return an array.
Okay. We can do array dots map.
Yeah.
We can store array.map in a variable. So we do EL.
We'll store it later. EL.
Then arrow. Then want to declare an object. Opens. Okay, yeah. So name then colon.
I explained some time ago why this would be a problem.
Yeah.
If you want to
Name
do
is
that,
yourself.
no, not that. If you want to return an object with an arrow function,
yeah.
you can't make it
That's true.
one-liner.
That's true.
So name.
Oh, okay. So we get the name from the data. So that would be like data dot. Let's check what does the data look like again, please? So want to look for the country with that.
CCA3.
Yeah. So data.cca3. Data.
No, data is an
Yeah.
array with plenty of things, so you'll need to start looking for the things inside.
Okay, we filter by the CCA3, then get the name from that. Fine.
Okay, going by this, this is a double loop. In fact, that is happening plenty of times for each element. Okay. So, is there not some way you can do it with one loop?
So that we just get the name directly.
Yeah, at least make the loop smaller.
Is the position always going to be the same thing?
Is the position always going to be the same thing?
It
It doesn't really have to be. It doesn't really have to. The point is just border countries. Anyhow it wants to be, as long as all the border countries are returned.
Can I see where the data is again?
Can you see where the data is?
Like how it is.
Or how it is. Okay, the entire data, Abi.
When we are looking to get.
This is the entire data, 250 things. But the array we are passing in is something like this. An array with codes. So we want to look for these 6 countries among these 250 that have these codes. So we'll return their common name and also return this code, the object.
Um,
Okay, what if instead of looping through data,
should we use
Instead of-
every?
every, how would you use that? Because every just
Okay.
returns true or false.
Uh,
It just, checks through, runs something through an array, runs a check through an array and returns true if everything in that array, fits, passes that check, passes that condition.
Use reduce.
okay.
Yeah,
You were
reduce is
talking
fine.
about looping through data.
Hello?
Reduce is fine, but reduce is actually what I would have gone with. So instead I'll do it on data. Reduce.
The accumulator and current time.
Okay, so I want this to be an array because I'm returning an array at the end. Okay, so to make things even smaller or faster, is there a way to turn an array into an object very quickly? I think the fastest way is to reduce. Yeah, so let's just say const borders is equal to array dot reduce ACC current. What I want to do, because inside this data now dot reduce, we're going to be checking if each item that we're passing, if it's CCA3, is inside this borders array, inside this array. Okay, so that means another small loop each time, right? Because the array could have plenty of things. There are some countries here that have up to 20 borders, 20 border countries. So that means it will, each time for those 250 things inside data, it will theoretically loop 20 for each of them.
Are we doing
Yes, what I want to do, I want to turn this array of borders into an object of borders, so that doing that check, whether the CCA3 for this country, does it exist inside this object, is much faster than the CCA3 for this country, does it exist inside this array? Those are different things. Checking something inside an object is O of 1, but checking something inside an array is O of n.
I thought you just said the same thing now.
If I did, I apologize. I mean different things. What I want is, okay, we currently have an array of stuff, right? Maybe IRN, I don't know, let me just say there's TSA, something like this. I don't want this. Instead, I want this. If you want to check if IRN exists in here, it would, or let's say if you want to check if TSA exists in here, it will look through this. It will check this. If there are more things, it will keep checking them one by one until it gets to the end or until it finds what you're looking for. But if you want to check if TSA exists inside this object, it's just one time. There's no looping. It's there or it's not there. So I want to turn that array of borders into an object of borders like this, so that when we're doing the check inside this, reduce on data, it will be faster. So that's what this
first one is doing.
What if what?
That's what the first one is doing. That's what the first reduce is doing.
Yeah, that's what the first one is doing. I just had not finished writing it yet. So
But
Yeah, this is going to end up being an object. So, what's it called?
Right. That makes sense.
ACC, square brackets, this is equal to true. Yeah, and return ACC. So we can try this out in our rough work over here. Array. Where is array? This array is crazy. So I'm going to change it to something else. I'll use this one instead. Right? This is what we have. So any confusions here?
I don't miss you.
No.
You don't miss. Look at this. Does this look confusing to you? I want to turn an array of border codes into an object of border codes, since checking for something inside an object is much faster than checking inside an array. Thank you. This is not confusing, Abi?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have these borders. So first of all, over here, the first thing we want to do is just make sure that the country exists, like it's part of the borders we're looking for. So if CURR dot or rather borders dot has own property. Do you remember this method?
For objects.
Right? Yeah, for objects. Determines whether an object has a property with a specified name. Okay. So borders dot has own property CURR dot CCA3.
Why can't we just do borders then square brackets current CCA3?
Okay, that's also fine. Yeah, if borders CCA3, then we carry on, what's that thing? ACC dot push name is something, code is something. Okay, so name will just be current dot name dot common, and code is CCA3. And at the end of this, no matter what, we return ACC. So if CCA3 does not exist in borders, it will still return ACC. If it exists in borders, then it will push a new object with name and code for that country and return ACC. Okay? So at the end of the day, yeah, this is now assigned to something. Const, what do we call this now? What do we call this variable?
borders.
If you don't know what to call it, no problem. We return it. We return it like that. That's faster than even
Thinking of your name.
yes. So this is all right, Abby.
Yeah, let's test it.
Yeah. So now, why don't we just use it here? Where is that borders? Border countries. So we just pass it in, right? What was the name? Format border countries. Right? So let's try it out. You know, it's at times like this that you get to really appreciate JavaScript. This thing that looks like it's very long, you know, will take a lot of time. 1 second or less, and it's all done. So there we have it. These are border countries, an array of objects.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're all set. So we can have I think I can remove these. We can have another render function.
Populate the job.
Yeah. So another render function. What do we call this function now? Render country data. And you pass in an object. Okay, so we have country codes already. So we just want to replace, country wrap. Yeah, so we just want to, you know, the inner HTML push something inside. Yeah. So now, you see, inside this inner HTML, there is this place for the buttons. Yeah, but the buttons have their own special, what do they call it now? Codes. Yeah. So we need to generate like the full stuff for the buttons first. Then we now throw it in here. So let me just take this, copy these two things. Somebody like me, somebody like me. Okay, so for these BTNs, perhaps we could, you know, create a variable. Like say, let's border HTML, borders HTML. Equal to an empty string. Yeah, and is it even necessary to do empty string? We could just directly map. No, map will not return. It's reduce perhaps. Right? Because obj dot border countries is an array. So if you map over, if you reduce over it, you can reduce it to just a string, you know, with all that templates inside. I don't know if you get me.
No, I don't.
For each button, this is the code for each button. You see, this is different from the last, or the last time we did any rendering, where we just had data and we dropped it once. For this one, after getting all of this data, these buttons need to be generated separately. Like for this one now, there are eight countries. For another, there may be 6. For another, there may be 4. So it needs to be generated dynamically. So a for loop.
Okay, yeah.
So we could choose to do a for loop here, and just keep adding everything. Add this to borders HTML each time, something like that. Or we could just reduce over obj.border countries, since that's an array. The initial accumulator will be an empty string, and each time we just add current to empty string. Let me just get started with that. Perhaps it will be clearer as we go on. So obj.border countries dot reduce ACC current. Current starts out as an empty string. There's this. Okay. So each time we say ACC plus equals all of this. Yeah, so country will be equal to current.code. Code, right? Because in here is just name and code. And then this one, the p tag, will just have current name. Exactly. So we can ignore this, or perhaps even just remove it entirely. Okay, so that's borders HTML, which means inside this card now, we can just put borders HTML. This is the space for the border countries. So just throw in. Yeah, before I created a function that would just run that stuff for me. But this time around, let me just do it straight up. Borders HTML. Okay. And now for all of this, obj.flag.
Will it be obj or country? I'll be country data.
What I passed is
Sorry.
1, 2, 3. I think that's all. So obj.
Yeah.
So I think this is fine. Yeah, everything has been changed. Okay. So instead of saying card is equal to that, I could just directly say countries wrap.inner.html is equal to this. Country wrap.inner.html is equal to this. Oh, I see. This is why I didn't do that. I like the HTML being orderly. Like it should follow this whole things are going inside. I like that.
Yeah, inside JS now.
Yes, I still like it. So that was why I wrote card, because writing the other one it's now become long.
That will give you a lot of issue formatting.
Formatting? Not really. Okay, yeah, writing it inside here, yeah, it's troublesome.
No.
So what I did was I wrote it in the HTML and copied it here.
Oh, it makes
so
sense.
The formatting, it's just from the second line to the last line that will shift. So I can just mark second to the last and just keep shifting them forward until I like what I see. Country wrap.inner.html is equal to card. So I think we're good. We just have to call render country data in here. Don't tell me I wrote that in a capital letter.
Our country data. You can remove the console logs now, Abby. But we can still keep them.
Let me just comment them out. In case there's any issue, we can easily go back and look at them. Okay, we already have something. What's this I see? Some things are being funny. Some things are undefined.
It's just, okay, sub-region.
So you see, we do need that country's data.
No.
We need those console logs. So I'll remove data, Sha. This data console log is not needed. But we need these two. No, just this one. We need country data. And we also need to see what these things are. So I'll add a console log for borders HTML. And the console log for card.
That card will be too much. But I
No
feel
worries.
if the country, if the data we are getting from country is correct, then there should be no issue with card.
As last, we'll see undefined.
Yep.
Chiki. Sub-region. Where is that sub-region? Border country is undefined.
Yeah, let's check our border countries HTML. Okay, borders HTML is returning undefined.
Sub-region is showing. Oh, I
Country
see.
data dot.
Yeah, I think I've gotten why sub-region was not working.
Oh,
Yeah, but at least
was it
the
capital
borders. The old one I wrote, it was capital.
okay.
So that's for
Following
borders.
brackets.
Now, this one is telling me undefined. Why is it undefined?
Probably the way we mapped over it in the borders HTML.
Yeah, probably that. Borders HTML is undefined. Oh, see me.
Return.
I didn't
is-
return
return.
ACC. Yeah,
We didn't return the accumulator.
sorry?
Yeah, she said you didn't return the accumulator.
Okay. Yes, so everything is on point now. So if we click on Pakistan, we go to Pakistan. And everything is still showing.
But
Click
if
on
you
China.
click on back, if you click back, you get
Yes,
back
you'll
to
get the
Pakistan.
previous thing. Yeah, which is fine. You shouldn't go back to the home page just by clicking back. I prefer it like this. Don't you prefer it like
Maybe
this?
they can be okay. Where in the world we'll go back to? We'll go back home.
Yes,
and-
where in the world is we'll quickly go back here.
Nice.
Yeah, so okay, so we're pretty much almost done, right? What's left? Okay, the only thing left is search. Yes, the only thing left is search. Somebody like me, somebody like me. But this is 517, so we'll just leave it for next one, right? Okay, but at this point, I think we have done a lot of things. So this from now till Saturday, you guys should not just rest. So we are going to do this. Somebody like me, somebody like me.
Asapena, wow. So they have projects. Interesting. Things
So
reactive.
they do.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear.
Ask for the mini project.
Yes, we're going to attempt this solar system. Why are things loading slowly?
I don't think Gio heard you though.
You don't think what?
Just use React for the project.
No, just use regular JavaScript. Don't run away from JavaScript. What's up now? This code is not showing. I wonder how this thing will just stay and be knocking people out. Okay, showing now, Abi.
Yes. It's showing your it's showing your Jitsi screen.
Yeah, sure, but it's like double in one of the screens.
Hello.
Yeah, it's showing
Yeah,
up.
seeing it.
Okay, so hmm,
Welcome.